Hello everyone. In today's session, we'll be seeing Cbse Class 8, Chapter 8, Cell Structure and Function. So what is cell? Cell is a structural and fundamental unit of life. All living organisms like plants and animals are composed of cells. As walls are made of bricks, the living organisms are all made of cells. The cells were first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665 by observing few cork cells from the bark of the tree under the microscope. This is how the cells of the bark look like when watched by Mr. Robert Hooke. Based on the number of cells present in the organisms are classified into unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Unicellular organisms, as the name suggests, they are just composed of only one single cell. Examples are amoeba and paramecium. You can observe the pictures here. This is amoeba and paramecium. These are just composed of only one cell, and the single cell does all the functions of ingestion, digestion, egestion and excretion. So in a way, it is much more efficient than multicellular organisms. When coming to multicellular organism, as the name suggests, these are composed of many cells. They have separate cells like liver cells, intestinal cells, kidney cells, each one doing their functions. So there is a definite division of labor in multicellular organisms. Examples of multicellular organisms are plants and animals. So these cells combine together to form tissues, and tissues combine together to form organs. Organs combine together to form organ systems. Many organ systems combine together to form an organism. Now let's see how the cell structure looks like. The outer layer of the cell, what you see in blue, is the cell membrane or plasma membrane. It is the outer layer of the cell and it does the function of selectively allowing certain substances to go in and go out. It's a selectively permeable membrane. What you see, this dark stained part of the cell is the nucleus. It is a controlling center of the cell or the brain of the cell. Nucleus contains several thread-like structures called chromosomes. Chromosomes contain what is called gene, which helps in transmitting the hereditary material from one generation to another generation. So the gap between the nucleus and cell membrane or plasma membrane is known as cytoplasm. Cytoplasm contains jelly-like fluid on which are embedded several small organs called organelles, which has different functions too. Cytoplasm and nucleus put together is known as protoplasm. Now let's see the differences between plant cell and animal cell. The major difference is that if you look at the structure of a plant cell here, they have an extra covering. We saw about the plasma membrane in the previous slide. Apart from it, they have an extra layer called cell wall, which is composed of cellulose in case of plant cells. Animal cells, if you see, they do not have cell wall. They just have plasma membrane. Another thing is, in the case of plant cells, you can see small green pigments present inside. These are called the chloroplasts. These are present only in the plant cells and animal cells lack it. Third important difference is the plant cells is majorly composed of vacuoles where they store the food. The vacuoles are centrally located, whereas the nucleus is pushed towards the corner. But in case of an animal cell, if you observe, the nucleus is taking the center part and the vacuoles are much smaller because they don't prepare their own food and they are hence pushed towards the corner. All living organisms are primarily divided into two types called prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Pro, as the name suggests, it means primitive. Karyon means nucleus. So, prokaryotes means organisms which have primitive nucleus. Example is bacteria. If you look at the structure of this bacteria, they don't have a well-defined nucleus. They don't have nuclear membrane. The chromosomes are just dispersed in the cytoplasm of the cell. And eukaryotes, as the name suggests, eu means true. Karyon is nucleus. So these organisms are organisms which have well developed nucleus, and the other organelles like mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum are all well developed. You can see the structure here. It has a proper nucleus. You have a proper nuclear membrane with nuclear pores, and the other organelles are clearly embedded, unlike the prokaryotes where it just nucleus which is spread across. It's called nucleoid. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubts, please leave your comments in the comment section. Thank you.